Do you really want to know the truth? Does it even matter? And if so, what could you possibly do to affect change? If I could lay the truth before you, would it really change anything, or would it just represent a momentary sense of regret in you and then quickly be replaced by more pressing personal matters? After all, what good is knowing the truth if in the end you are powerless to use that truth to affect change for the better? I will tell you the truth. The question is, what will you do with that truth? Will you file it away as just another fact of life you are powerless to confront? Or will you seize upon this truth and find the will to pass it on to others regardless of how uncomfortable it feels to do so? This is your challenge as a human being. This is what will define the reality the future will deliver. It is up to you to take this knowledge and share it with those you love. And it is up to you to defend the freedom others died to secure for you. What follows is the truth, unvarnished and laid out as it exists in reality. What you choose to do with it is up to you. Look around you. What do you see? Do you see a world moving in the direction of peace and prosperity? Do you see a world where our shared existence is met by a willingness to extend our hand to those that need it? Do you see a world in bloom? Or do you see a world where materialism, the worship of mediocrity, and the disdain of all things noble are slowly choking the very lifeblood out of humanity? A world where nations seek not common ground, but ever more reasons to annihilate one another. What do you see? And where do you think these events will ultimately lead humanity? The truth is far worse than you ever imagined. Hunger, violence, and hatred are not just on the rise worldwide. They are exploding across the face of our world at an unprecedented rate. Here are the statistics. The world is facing a hunger crisis unlike anything it has seen in the history of modern society. Every day, almost 16,000 children die from hunger-related causes. That's one child every 5 seconds. Think about that for a moment. There are 1.9 billion people starving. Literally, 1 in every 4 people on this planet are starving to death. That number will continue to grow. The World Bank estimates that the spike in global food prices in 2008, followed by the global economic recession in 2009 and 2010, has pushed more than 150 million people into poverty. This worldwide epidemic shows no signs of slowing. Add to this the fact that each year, over 1.6 million people worldwide lose their lives to violence. Violence is among the leading causes of death for people 15 to 44 years of age worldwide. For every person who dies as a result of violence, many more are injured and suffer from a range of physical, sexual, reproductive, and mental health problems. The violence epidemic is also spreading at an exponential rate as worldwide stores of food and water dwindle and populations continue to increase at a rate infrastructure cannot keep pace with. As if that were not enough, racial, ethnic, and religious violence are on the rise, and almost every war taking place currently on this planet is increasing in severity. Tension is rising, and world leaders are receding ever further into police-state mentalities, exacerbating an already out-of-control situation. Controlled violence seems to be the only answer to the swelling ranks of tyrants and despots wreaking devastation worldwide. Social unrest is also increasing at an exponential rate. As the moral backbone of society crumbles and the floodgates of immorality, consumerism, and the societies of self-enrichment seek ever more self-gratification at the cost of their own humanity. No longer do we seek to improve society for all who are a part of it. Instead, we seek to enslave others to fuel our own needs and comforts and pay lip service to the ideals of our forefathers. That is the real world, the world few people ever consider. Enter the United States of America, the once lone superpower revered around the world for its creed that all men, regardless of wealth, beliefs, or heritage, were created equal in the eyes of God. In the midst of worldwide turmoil, we now find our once great nation not only taking part in the chaos engulfing our world, but leading the way. No longer can we claim the moral high ground, and the world watches in stunned silence as we morph from the protectors of freedom into a nation of apathetic consumers easily controlled by mass media and a government that no longer bothers to hide its desire to enslave its own people. Gone are the days of patriotism, unity, and a desire to set an example for those less fortunate than ourselves. Gone are the days when the world could look to our shores and see hope. Hope that there was a future for humanity. Hope that their children, if not themselves, might have an opportunity to be more and live fuller lives in a land that welcomed them as equals. Instead, we are left with a corrupt merger of corporate and political interests, a fascist police state designed to suppress rather than to uplift its people. No longer do the suppressed souls of this world look to our shores as their only hope for a better life. We have traded our status as a beacon of hope for pure, unadulterated greed and a policy of self-enrichment at any cost. All of this points to one undeniable fact. We are a species in decline. Make no mistake, the collapse is coming. The old walls are crumbling, and the architects of freedom have long left this world to its own devices. It now falls to us, each of us, to begin again the task of rebuilding what will invariably be lost. Now is the time to prepare. Now is the time to educate ourselves. Now is the time to teach those we love the needed skills that will serve them when the curtains that are hiding the chaotic reality fall. By all means, live in the present, but never forget that the future will arrive whether we want it to or not. Act now so that when the time comes you will not carry the extra burden of confusion when your life depends on it. Gather those of like mind and build the bonds that will serve to protect you and the ones you love when you need it the most. Embrace the challenges that lie ahead. Then, and only then, will you find the will to survive what is coming.